Hi, I'm Mark Burbridge and this is my Design Principles and Applications Unit 1 Assignment 2 for Construction in the Built Environment. In this assignment we have been asked to investigate how technology is constantly advancing within the construction industry and how it can have dramatic effects on the design phase, planning stage and construction stage of any construction project. In this assignment you're going to see three different technologies, some which may not be particularly modern to the construction industry, but they're definitely going to be modern to the application on the Channel Islands. The first item I have decided to pick on is Building Information Modelling, or BIM for short. BIM is used in the design and planning phase of a project and has been introduced to enable all members of the design team to input information into a 3D interactive model. Each item within this interactive model contains all of the information about the object, such as their costs, their model numbers, their serial numbers, and the quantities of each item. This can aid the quantity surveyors and subcontractors and architects to fully understand and assess the costs on any of the projects that are running within the BIM file. One of the main advantages of BIM is that fully coordinated drawings are created through the model. This will allow installation engineers to know that what they're installing has been properly planned and designed to allow for any sets or anything else that could possibly go wrong within the project. Another advantage is that sectional drawings can be created with a couple of clicks of a mouse in comparison to having to create whole new drawings and start from scratch effectively. So it would save a lot of time and labour for creating these sectional drawings. The way I see it though, BIM will effectively replace operation and maintenance manuals as it will contain all of the information within the project. If you have something which has broken or needs replacing, you'll be able to go into that BIM file, click on the item and all of the information will come up. So as I said, model numbers and serial numbers, sizes of items, everything will be there, all the information, and it's all on a file rather than having to traipse through a book or a traditional operation and maintenance manual, as it were. BIM to me is one of those items which I mentioned in my short introduction, which isn't technically a modern technology. It has been around for a number of years, but the island hasn't fully adopted it as a system yet. There are very few architects on the island who will use BIM, and there are even less engineers or subcontractors which have BIM capability. The main downside, I guess, is the file size. Each BIM file is going to be astronomical. Therefore, you're all going to need more powerful PCs. Everyone's going to need to buy the BIM software or the license for the software, and it's just going to be a lot more awkward for certain areas, such as the finance industry. Trust companies and places like that who own buildings are going to have a dedicated BIM PC and a BIM user. They're going to have to pay for him to get trained, and it's just things that didn't have to happen with old operation and maintenance manuals or the old system. If you follow the link to this presentation, there will be a short video about more about BIM, just so you can understand it fully if you would like to click it and follow it further. The next modern technology I have decided to focus on is 3D scanning or point cloud scanning. This is another relatively modern technology on the island. Again, it's been around for a number of years, but people haven't started using it on the island. There are capabilities for it. People can fly the objects in or the scanners into the island, but people don't tend to use it as there's not really a massive call for it. One of the main advantages of point cloud scanning is it can allow you to help render BIM projects through the point cloud system. Each item within a point cloud system is given a number, and that number is representative of a scale. So all of the items are to scale. And when you have a point cloud scan completed, you're then given effectively a 3D representation of what that scanner has picked up. The coordinate system, which is used by the point cloud scanner, accurate measurements are going to be able to be taken off of the scale model provided. If you have a particularly large or complex site, multiple scans can be undertaken to create a more complex and complete 3D model. These models are stitched together through the coordinate system. Again, I have attached a link for you to have a look at a short presentation of a 3D scan being undertaken and the final product. Third technology is something which is going to help people in the construction phase of a project, and it's called the Tigerstone bricklaying machine. This machine can aid any construction worker in laying brick pave areas such as driveways or parks or any other item where brick paving is going to be necessary. The item comes with 4 widths of machine, with 3 meters wide, 4 meters wide, 5 and 6 meters wide. It can help to reduce labour hours on a contract, but the initial costs of purchasing or renting the machine could be a massive factor in the item. On the next slide, you will see the bricklayer machine there. There you see. These people are sat on top of the machine and they are just putting the bricks in order. It's less labour intensive, less chance of injury for the employer. It's not bent over all the time. And I think that it's just a quicker, nicer and easier way to be laying bricks over the traditional method. And again, if you'd like to follow the link that accompanies the presentation, it shows you a video of the brick pave layer working. Like I say, it does reduce a lot of time, but to me, if it was financially viable on the Channel Islands, someone would have put one in already and they would be using it week in, week out, as it does save that much time. So in conclusion, there are many new and developing technologies within the construction industry. While many are there to help a skilled labour force complete their tasks, some are there to replace them completely. This is something I feel that should not happen, as if you replace the skilled labour force, you're only going to end up with more unemployment within the island. And the construction industry within the island is going through its toughest time at the moment that it is seen for many years. So there are both good and bad sides to the technology in the construction industry. As I've shown you, BIM allows more complex and intricated designs. This means that you are able to really design out any awkwardness or any clashes from the outset. The brick pave laying machine, this is another one which I found helps the end user. It's not such backbreaking work, but again, the cost and the initial outlay of money is going to be a lot for any construction workers or construction companies to have to pay out to take on such a machine. What I didn't realise was how much technology is actually advancing within the construction industry. Obviously, I realise how BIM has advanced and how point cloud scan has advanced because I've seen those work in person and I've seen them in an application which is relevant to my day job. Whereas construction industry isn't really what I'm doing. I'm a services consultant. This means that I'm not really looking at other technologies. Other technologies which we touched on in class include the WikiHouse, foam bricks, CNC productions for housing. It's developing so much that it's really going to help the construction industry advance and advance quicker. It was quite difficult to actually choose one technology to present for my construction phase, which is why I chose the bricklaying one, because I found it to be the most interesting. The bricklaying seemed like such a good way of being able to lay a brick paved drive or brick paved parkway or anything like that with ease, and it's something that was aiding the skilled labour force rather than replacing them. Thank you for your time, and thank you for looking at my presentation. Thank you very much. Goodbye.